What a wonderful week it's been. Whoa, you think you're so cool, bro? Bro, you think you? Bro? Bro, come on, bro. Excuse me, who are you? Who am I? Bro, who are you? I'm the Sapphire Star, bitch. Oh, nice to meet you, bro. I'm Fatalis.
Hello, my fellow hunters. I've prepared a little poem for you. I call it The Last 6 Days. Safi'jiiva, 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 Safi'jiiva. Okay. Look, let's be honest. Safi'jiiva is everything right now, but it won't always be everything. There has to be the next, the after, the raising of the stakes even further, because, well, that's how these things work. If the next monster to get released was, ta-da! It's Cuckoo! Then I feel like we all would be, oh, yay. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Cuckoo, I really do, especially given he's the first proper flying creature I ever did fight back in Monster Hunter 1, but Safi has raised the bar to unprecedented heights. Now, Kulftaroth came along, changed a lot with her weapon system, and then Lunastra followed, and, well, was Lunastra a worthy follower to Kulftaroth? A siege versus a normal encounter, obviously harder to compare. It was kind of Blue Teostra despite the masterful rework and bullshit Nova, but it was kind of alright, right? But the thing is, Kulf was nowhere near as game-changingly, meta-definingly just mixing up of all the things that Safi'jiiva has proven to be. Nor was Kulf, I think, as purely a badass spectacle fight, though I do think Kulftaroth was certainly more unique, and I really did love the Caverns of El Dorado. But the point I'm getting at is the monster that comes next, and we're getting at least a couple more. They said 5-ish is the plan. We've had 3. Well, it needs to stand up. It needs to be able to go, ha, Safi'jiiva.
Wait till they get a load of me.
And really, at this point, there's only 3 monsters that I think can comfortably out-hype Safi. Now, granted, I think generally a new Elder Dragon, something as good as Namiel, would probably do fine, and perhaps that's what we'll get to tide us over until the final monster of Iceborne. But let's be real here, after weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of the thing that's really going to set, well, the new world on fire, and probably literally do, is a black dragon. We can't have Diamorales because nobody knows how to swim anymore! And then that leaves Elatrion and Fatalis. And as good as Elatrion is, and honestly my preferred choice just to see his elements in World's aesthetic alone, Fatalis once again looms large on the horizon, just waiting to destroy us all. And this isn't just something plucked from the air. We know of all the previous evidence pointing towards maybe Fatalis, the anniversary stuff that may or may not be connected. He might have just got a brand new incredibly detailed 3D model just for the fun of it, and genuinely he might have, but still, post-defeating Safi, you speak to the Seeker, and he has something very ominous to say. Talking of Safi being a monster that changes the environment for its own gain, how that is a trait very much it shares with humanity, but in Safi's case, we turned up, we slew it, and put an end to its shenanigans. And the Seeker ponders, well, what if one day something turns up and tries to put an end to humanity's shenanigans? Because the point does stand, as I just said. Safi and us have the altering of our surroundings to our own benefit in common, and really, one day we might be the hunted. Why hasn't something come after us? where is the line drawn? Because hunters and the guild, as much as they are about natural balance and they do strive towards it, we do kind of, well, declare ourselves judge, jury, and executioner of nature's balance along with the Wyverians, and that's a lofty position to place yourself in. So, really, where is the line? When, or if, or what will try and stop our meddling in the natural order? And well, this is very much the tale of Fatalis, because Fatalis very much got to the point where he was sick of humanity's shit and wiped out an entire kingdom in the Great Dragon War a long time ago. Which means this very might be a subtle little wait for it, because round 2!
Fight!
Keep that close to you, Hunter.
Might just be on the horizon. And yes, it's tentative, but Capcom have been known and have been fond of putting in these very light hintings across the game. And well, again, coupled with everything we already know about the likelihood of Fatalis, now with the added benefit of him or Elatrion, at least in my mind, being the only worthy axe to follow something as, well, ridiculous as Safi'jiiva, suddenly, to me, puts the, well, we're getting a Black Dragon before the Fifth Fleet's work is done, in much higher credence. Because, of course, Safi'jiiva is a siege. It's unique, it's only multiplayer scaled, full lobby helps, it's got a whole reward system tied to it. Whereas if we got Elatrion or Fatalis, again, going to use that every single time I talk about him, well, that's going to be an actual, air quotes, normal fight that you can solo or go in a group, and it scales, you know, your regular hunting experience, but one that is eclectic and grandiose and magnificent and, well, quite simply epic, because it would have to be. I've said numerous times, a Fatalis with a fresh, well, world coat of paint upon it, remade, re-rendered, reimagined, made to represent the lore that follows him, because really his bark is very much worse than his bite. The legends of him would have you imagining a full-on destroyer deity descending, well, probably ascending from hell itself, wreathing the world in flames, of which he can apparently do in 3 days, leaving nothing left alive. But let's say that one's probably an exaggeration. But look, the creature that can't be killed, that grows back from its very scales, entrapping the hunter wearing them, turning them insane before eventually transforming them into a new Fatalis reborn, needs to have something tangible to actually go along with that. We've seen Safi's Sapphire of the Emperor, that's the name of his, well, ultimate attack. So imagine what kind of just spectacle they could give something with Fatalis's power and reputation as his signature ability, because he really does need something of that level, of that scale, of that intensity, and really, now is the time. Especially given what they've done with Safi'jiiva's armor set. They've, well, gone really quite out the box with damage yourself, you gain bonuses when you're unsheathed, you heal yourself if you don't sheath. Like, it's not something anyone really expected, and it's very different from the established, well, theme of armor set. So when you start getting to Fatalis, you could even perhaps do something along the lines of wearing it for too long makes you insane. What if they made Fatalis's armor set, and this is just, I'm throwing this just out here, okay? They went with the, if you wear it for too long, you get corrupted and you go crazy before eventually growing into a new Fatalis trapped in a tomb that was your armor. It's lovely to say, isn't it? What if the Fatalis armor is incredibly powerful, but if the hunt lasts too long, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you just start dying. Like the armor seals up around you and your health starts melting because you're suffocating and being taken by the Black Dragon madness. So it's a super double-edged sword. You either speedrun or you perish in a terrifying abyss.
You fucking crazy, man.
crazy with it because, well, that's what black dragons do. The first-class dangerous monsters. They are a license to just go, well, as crazy as Fatalis armor supposedly makes you. And I really hope he does make it, or him or Elatrion, just to witness the ridiculousness that they do for his equipment and armor, because one thing that Safi proves is they're not afraid to think, well, not just outside the box, they're in the next building over. And I guess I can leave it here. It's not really a huge amount to talk about, just an extra little Fatalis-y hint. He's essentially, well, talking of the time Fatalis did come and put an end to humanity, and pondering if something's going to do that for us. The parallel is so strong, there is no other way to interpret that, my word. Then you add on the fact that it is going to take something of Black Dragon level to follow Safi and not be a disappointment, and the fact that we've never had a gen without Fatalis, and all of the 15th anniversary stuff, and all of the hints we've previously had. I mean, it just gets more and more fucking likely it does. Yes, it really, really does. So we'll see what ends up happening, we certainly will, but until then, let me know what you guys think of this. How you feeling? Is it likely? Are you a little bit more convinced, or is this just random dialogue that is being read into a little bit too much? In either case, like you've enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and I will see you soon. Also, imagine Fatalis in Turf Wars. Imagine seeing his all-living creatures run from him. You could give him a mechanic where he turns on his, well, let's give him a super mode, a God Dragon King mode, where the closer you are to him, you just start dying, or you're too scared to move, or, well, you know the drill. Again, you could really do some funky stuff with a Black Dragon fight and have it justified by, well, it's Fatalis. Hell, you will need to have, of course, barren maps when he's present, filled with no life. Maybe give him his own arena, and, well, we've been given new maps with updates, as we've seen now with both the Caverns of El Dorado and the Safi'jiiva lair. So, really, we could have other Elder Dragons show up and get dominated by him in Turf Wars, and I think it would be fine to let him just straight up execute any Elder that would dare challenge him. Or perhaps even show his supposed, like, he just dominates other creatures and they just turn on you and fight for him in a way that is obvious that that's happening. Maybe their eyes start glowing the same colors as Fatalis and now they're under his sway. That would be, well, bloody scary. Alright guys, I'm rambling again. A good boy.
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you, even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.